What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon X Randomizer Egglocke. Previously, we went through the Route 15, I believe it was, and we were just basically battling a bunch of people, and then we got here. We started at the Frost Cavern. I want to say we're about halfway through right now. We're about halfway through. My goal is to actually finish this up today and get to Anastar City. I don't think we're taking on the gym today. Specifically because with the Frost Cavern, there's like 2 points where I think we have to do a team of 6 battle in here. And once we get to the Anastar City gym, we have a rival battle against Serena, which is also another team of 6 battle. So probably not going to make it to Olympia today, but we should be really, really close that for the next video, we'll take on Olympia. And it'll be just the gym, and that's the video. Alright, my Deanna. I really hope for Gen 10 or something like that, they just take a bunch of Pokemon. Like, do what they did with Generation 9, or not 9, sorry, 8. Well, they did it with 9 as well. Do what they did for Generation 8, where, like, they said, oh, we see Zigzagoon, we see Linoon, we give them a region form, but not only that, they get an evolution as well. That would be, I think that would be great for something like Mightyena. Be totally down for that. It doesn't have to be necessarily dark type. It could be something else. Or you could just give it a whole new evolution. I don't really care. Because I like that the games do that every once in a while. It's funny because I uploaded a TikTok on my TikTok page, which if you aren't following that, what are you doing? Follow that. There's a lot of good stuff on there. But I was saying how with Generation 8, they introduced Applin and they introduced Duraludon to the game. I was saying to me, I'm like, I find it crazy that in my brain that there's an evolution, Mega Evolution, no, that there's an evolution of, like, let's say something from Generation 1 to Gen 2. Golbat. I think that's it. This is actually the example I used in the caption. Like, it baffles my brain that I can see an evolution of Golbat, which is a Generation 1 Pokemon, and then it getting an evolution to Crobat in Gen 2 and being like, okay, that's, you know, that makes sense, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's something that, like, I've grown accustomed to and grown to accept. But when I see the evolution of Applin, which already had evolutions already with Flapple and Appleton, but it getting Diplin and then Hydrapple, the next generation, or Duraludon getting Arcualudon, or however the hell you pronounce it, the bridge, the PS5 looking thing. I see those things and it's like, why would they do an evolution the next generation? It's like they've done it plenty of times before. And I know, like, a lot of, we'll call them the old heads. So these are people who pretty much played, like, the first 1 through 3 generations Pokemon. They'll be like, oh, that's so unoriginal. Like, them coming up with evolutions or forms of Pokemon. And it's like, I honestly think it's pretty creative. Because you think about it, right? There's different parts of the world where there's different creatures. A house cat in America is different to a house cat in Mexico. Like, there are distinct differences. So, with that being the case with Pokemon, that makes sense. Now, if that's strictly like what most of the Pokédex is, then I understand where that unoriginality comes from, but like the paradox forms, I think those are cool because even though, yes, they're basically working off of older Pokemon designs, they're still newer, they're different. And then the regional forms, they're working off, again, older Pokemon, but they're different. They have their distinct differences. So I think for me, it's not that big of a issue. And it's something I accept. Wow. Is that a big brain play or what? That man took my shadow tag, so now I can't swap out of Gudra. And I'm missing all my moves now. So we're just gonna go for Dragon Pulse. But yeah, I was talking about that. I'm like, I find it crazy that in my brain, a Golbat to Crobat evolution was fine, but I think that's because when I really started picking up Pokemon was around Generation 3, Generation 4. So like, in my head, and it was funny to me when I found this out. So when I was a kid, I had this like Pokemon sticker book thing. I don't think it happened anymore. But it was basically a sticker book, and it had a sticker of like all of Pokemon up to Generation 4, I believe. And it was funny because like I would look for things like Ponyta and be like in the Sinnoh column and being like, where's Ponyta? Not realizing that Ponyta came from Generation 1. Fire and Green. And it was always funny because it's like, well, you look at, for me, Ruby and Sapphire, Diamond and Pearl, those are really where I started. Those were my Generation 1, technically. Because that's what I played as a kid. Those were my first Pokemon games. But it was just funny because, like, I'd be like, oh my god, there's a Golbat. I remember him from Diamond and Pearl. It very much carried the same energy as it's the guy from Fortnite. If you know what that meme is, then you know. But it's funny because that's how it kind of was in my head. Now, obviously, like starters and whatnot, those are pretty easy to distinguish for their games, but like a lot of the mons that we see all the time, so Geodude, Golbats, all of them, that we see in pretty much every game. Like, it was just funny because I think like they came from a different game, but they really, or they came from this game, but they really came from a game that was much, much older. But yeah, I remember having that sticker book and trying to solve, or like put the stickers where they belong, and I'm just like, where does this go? And then I'd like flip through the pages and I'd find it and be like, what? It was a very, very different time. Ooh, I just realized, hold on. How do I get to that item? That is not how I get to that item. I'm not spending all this time on this. Wait. If I do this. Look at that. I feel like that's the first time I've collected that item like that before. Let's go. Pretty sure there's an item over here. That's why I'm coming over this way. Oh, there's apparently a trainer over here as well. And sometimes when I think about my memories of being a young Pokemon player, I wish I could go back to those times for being the dumb, stupid kid. Because it was one of those things, like, you weren't afraid to learn because you were just so, like, engrossed in what it is you were doing. It's kind of what I wish. Because, like, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have the knowledge that I do now. But boy, does that mean when you're making content on it and you say one wrong thing, everybody flips their lid. I still remember there was a time when, this was actually when we did our Pokemon White 2. Was it White 2 or was it Black 2? Our Pokemon White 2, I think. Extreme Randomizer Nuzlocke. There was a TikTok that I uploaded, and this was like one of the first rival battles, I think, in the game. Just to set the context to you, the viewer. And I was saying how... Ooh. What is TM03 normally? I don't know what TM03 is normally, but Flamethrower is a good TM. That is good. But there was something that I said regarding a weakness to, I think it was a Muck. We had a Muck on our team or something like that. I said, you know, I can't switch into this because Muck is weak to blah, blah, blah. And this guy, who of course, obviously knows better than the person actually playing the game, who was playing the game that the person randomized, and they knew from this like minute-long video clip. Was talking about, well, Muck's a poison type, he's not weak to this. And it's like, well, buddy, he's actually not a poison type in this game. He's a steel type, so he is in fact weak to this and this. And again, it's always funny when things like that happen. I'm just like, I have no reason, or like, I don't have a filter when it comes to that. Like when people try to act super duper smart like that. And funny enough, I don't know when this video is going out, like what day it's going out, but oh wait, this isn't gonna be a Team 6 battle because these are just regular grunts. Yes. But we did we were uploading our TikToks, and we uploaded the TikTok where we got the well, we uploaded the clip where we got the shiny Magmar, which that video is up on the channel, the short and the actual like shiny reaction, and the stream for that. So highly recommend checking that out if you haven't already. But I uploaded that clip to TikTok, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna upload this because I usually like to upload clips like that to TikTok to, you know, just engage to another audience, things like that. And I remember I was out with my parents. We went to like some local like comic book thingy, where I got like a stupid amount of Pokemon cards. Like this is the amount of cards that I got for like 20 bucks. Besides the phone. But I saw that I got a comment on the video, and I was like, okay. So I go and read the comment, and this guy was like, hey, have you ever heard of this game called Power World? Get off of Pokemon. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I understand, right, that Power World is big. And it's been big since its actual, like, release. Like, since people could actually start playing the game. And I don't diss anyone who plays Power World, you know. If that's the game you want to play, I don't, you know, I don't judge. I don't, because it doesn't matter to me. It's what you are choosing to play. So you coming into my stream and getting, or not my stream, but on my TikTok video, which again is, it pops up randomly on your For You page or whatever. you're coming into my comments on my video, you watched the entirety of this video, you probably actually didn't watch the entirety of the video, and you decided that you wanted to comment on it, kind of feeling like you know it all. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking like, that's such weirdo behavior to me. You going into some random person's channel, stream, whatever, and being like, I don't like the game that you're playing. You should play the game that I suggest because I'm the only person who's important. Like, think about that. Like, that's super duper weird. That'd be the equivalent of me going onto Twitch, going to, who's a Twitch streamer that I know? Let's say Lulu. If you know Lulu, she streams Apex a lot of the time. That would be the equivalent of me going into Lulu's stream while she's playing Apex and being like, have you ever heard of this game called Fortnite? Get off Apex. Now, if I had to imagine, because she's a bigger streamer, much bigger streamer, she probably gets messages like that all the time, if not even worse. And it's like, think about that. You are showing up to a person's stream. You know exactly what it is that they're doing, and you're gonna try to tell them to do something different because you want them to? Like, no. Go fuck right off. And I've had that happen on YouTube before, where I've had people come into my streaming chat and say like, oh, Pokemon's dead, you should do something else, blah blah blah. And it's like, well, guess what, pal? I'm doing what I want to do, because guess what? It's not your channel, it's mine. And I choose what I want to do. I choose what I want to upload. Do I care if I get 1 million views or not? No. But am I going to do my best to make it to where I put something out that could? Yes. Because I think that's what a lot of people, especially people who aren't content creators, don't understand. Is that there has to be a balance of a business aspect, yes, where I have to have the consistency that you do, but also you have to have fun with it. Are you gonna sit here and tell me that of the many Nuzlockes that I've done on the channel that I haven't had fun with any of them? Why do you think my channel is primarily Pokemon? Could I make it somewhere just doing only Pokemon content? Yes, I could. But is that what I choose to do with my YouTube channel? No. I choose to upload multiple games to show that, hey, this is what we do. That's why Free Time Friday is a thing. Because it has me doing other things that isn't playing the same games that we play all the time on my own. Or it doesn't have me just doing Pokemon stuff. It gives us a nice spice and variety. And you get to see a different side. But yeah, I just remember my response to that person being like, hey, random stranger. This clip was from months ago, so this was way before Power World release. Also, it's really weird that you're coming into my video and commenting what it is I should do, when you could easily just scroll up, not even have to acknowledge what it is I'm doing. That's the crazy thing. I think a lot of people just fail to recognize is like, if you don't like what someone's doing on the internet, like if in terms of like YouTube, Twitch, any sort of like platform like that, you don't have to look at it. You don't have to follow it. And yet people feel like there's this sort of like, oh, you know, this is, it's me and it's in my world and it only revolves around me. That's not how it works. I don't know. People are just, they baffle me. I'll say that much. Like, I don't go out of my way to troll some random person because I'm behind a computer screen. Like, it just seems like I have a bajillion other things that I could do better. Also, I just want to point out that that person had a team of level 58s, and while we were in a couple predicaments, like that slacking, scary, Entei was scary, Hydreigon was scary, she had a fucking scary team. And we just watched her. And she had a team of 58, so that makes me notice, because I'm pretty sure she only has one mod normally, and it's 48. So that means Olympia should be 40, or not 48, sorry. Well, if she was 48, ooh, we'd absolutely smack her up. No, not even close. But, she'll be 58. She'll be 58. But, again, like, just... It goes back to the simple thing of, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Especially, like, on the internet. Like, there's a bunch of times that people give their opinions on things where it's just, like... You can feel empowered. And, like, you know what? You're allowed to voice your opinion. Like, I'm not saying you should, you know, keep those things to yourself. But, like... I think a lot of the time people fail to read the room. And that's especially the case in, like, pretty much any comment section nowadays. Is like, you gotta read the room. Like, if you see that there's a video, like a wildlife video, for example, and it's like someone who's taking care of, like, cheetahs or something like that. I'm giving very specific examples because these are just things that I know from, like, off the top of my head. Like, people will be like looking at the cheetahs and whatnot, and it's like, you need to release that animal back out into the wild. This is not its natural habitat, and you're being selfish for, you know, taking it in. And it's like, well, if you watch the video, it says, like, this cheetah was actually, like, badly hurt and needed to be taken in. Otherwise, it would have died. So, yeah, your social justice warrior feeling, yeah, really is gonna save the animal, huh? There's just a bunch of people on the internet and in the world who are just very, very stupid. And I'm not saying that I don't have moments where I'm like that. I'm not backpedaling and saying that. But, like, I know there's a lot of times where I can read things and I'm just like, probably shouldn't say that or do that. Getting asked a bunch of dumb questions, and a lot of these dumb questions actually don't even come from the fact that, you know, I work with kids, but these are coming from adults, whom some of them are older than me, saying these things. I'm just like, right, sure. We actually are going to make perfect time for this, because we're going to get to fighting Serena. Yeah. Let's go. I actually should check out the secondary mark first. I probably should buy some more potions. I don't know how many potions we're at right now. We definitely should buy some more. Well... That's good against fairies, but the only thing that can learn that is Pyroar. Ooh. TM25. That's Thunder. Dedenne can learn that. Yo, this Dedenne is cracked out of the fucking gills. What? What is that normally? That's Fire Blast. I was hoping for Greninja to be able to get something like that, but no, that's fine. Yeah, this Dedenne is cracked out of the gills, and honestly, it's the same base power as Petal Dance. It's just we lose 15 accuracy. But I don't suffer from being locked in. So, I think it's a fair trade-off. I'm gonna leave Petal Dance on the other ones, though. Yeah, good thing we came here to get potions. We only had 2. Alright, let's go fight Serena. I didn't mean to press yes to that. Okay, so let's think about it. If Olympia is 58, then I know Wolfric is normally 59. But with the level booster and 20%, 5.9 make 11.8. So he'd be 12 levels higher. So he's going to be... God damn, he's going to be 71. That's insane. Also, no idea why my frames are dropping to 10 frames per second. Oh, that's probably why. Excuse me? Please don't do that much. Got the special defense drop. Okay, surely I kill with a discharge. Oh my god. Call me crazy? We're doing this. I mean, we have +2 special defense. I'm sure that this thing is going to go for crunch, right? Yeah, surely this thing goes for crunch. I don't think it gets Earthquake until it evolves at 55, so payback. And I wasn't sure if I outsped. That's the reason why I swapped instead of going for Baton Pass. Because if it went for, well, payback. Well, I had crunch. So if it went for crunch, we would have 100% died. 100% died. 100% died. No doubt in my mind we would have died. But if it went for payback, it could have been a roll. I'm more shook at the fact that before the amnesia, we did no damage with Dedenne with discharge. Kinda cruel. If I was confident that I outsped with Auroras, I don't have an option because Water and Poison is super effective against 4 of my Mons. So I have to do this because I at least get the luxury of changing my typing because of Protean. And it's a Tentacruel. I don't think he has anything crazy. He might have Hydro Pump actually. They went for Screech. I mean, it's hard to say. If he went for Hydro Pump, if that would have killed. And he is pretty specially bulky, so not really surprised that a stab discharge didn't kill. Speaking of especially bulky, Regice. He doesn't get... I don't think he gets Heavy Slam or anything, so we should be fine. We should. Alright, Diamond Storm goes for Charge Beam. That should do, like, literally 0. Actually didn't. A little bit more than I would have thought. Does that kill? This does. With a critical hit. I don't think we needed the crit. Because Diamond Storm is physical. Gothitelle. I mean, we do the same thing we do every single time, and that's go to Greninja, because we know this thing doesn't have anything that hits Greninja. Expect to switch? No! Oh, went for Heal Blunt. We did half of its health. Wow. Wowzers. And we got a low roll. That's just great, dude. Telekinesis. That's just great. He just lowered. He just got a low roll. At least he doesn't roll before. That would have been annoying. To deal with. Alright, 61. Drifblim's coming back out. We just go Auroras. Like, I don't know what our special attack difference between Auroras and Dedenne is, but I mean, is there a chance that this thing had filter? Or multi-skill? Sometimes it feels like the damage output is very, very weird. We'll say that much. Weird. Latios, Mega or no? No Mega. Zen Headbutt. How much is that doing? Decent amount, but not enough. And it lives. And I guess that's the thing too, is that we're starting to get to the point in the game where, despite the fact that we are over leveled, we're not one-shotting things. The super effective things. Because that's the thing, is that 8 levels right now is a bit, but it's not impossible to beat. Whereas if this was 8 levels versus like a 22 and a 30, is that still possible to do that? Yeah, kind of, but it's a hell of a lot. It's a lot more difficult. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this video here. Next episode, we're gonna be taking on the gym for our 7th gym badge. If you guys are excited for that, make sure you hit that like button down below, because it'd be greatly appreciated. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.